Hey Insiders, it's Daniel Pickett here, and I am at the Diamond booth right now with Brian Volk-Weis of the Nacelle Company.
Hello!
He's got, look at this awesome display, look at all this right here. Talking about the whole Nacelle universe. So can you just give us I know this is going to be an impossible task for your life, but can you give us just a little thumbnail of what has happened in the last year since we spoke to you?
So in the last year, it's funny. I'm gonna butcher this quote, but it's a Mariah Carey quote from I don't even know the name of the song, but she has this line where she's like you're mom and pop, I'm a corporation. And listen, we're obviously not a corporation, but I mean legally, but other than legally. But last year and the year before, everything was like kind of homemade. And, you know, I think last year we had 2 toys here.
Right.
The year before we had 1 toy. Now I think we have 8 lines here. Not only do we have 8 lines, we're showing in 2 cases the second wave, and in 1 case the third wave. So Biker Mice, you know, we have 2 prototypes here from the third wave. Charlie has never been seen before yesterday. So we're kind of learning how to run and chew gum at the same time, because, you know, again, it's like, for me at least, you know, I'm a big toy collector, I love toys, but I never did any of this before. Right. So, you know, at first with Robo Force, you do a deal with a factory and then it comes. Now we're working with 4 factories. We used to get 1 boat of stuff about every 5 to 7 months. I mean, we're now getting a boat every 4 to 6 weeks. So it's managing our existing business. And then, by the way, simultaneously, you know, we're still working on acquiring other properties that fit within the Nacelle-verse. So we have 2 that are in contract right now. Okay. So it's this so like last year, it was like, we're here. Like, oh my God, we're still alive. Like, I didn't bankrupt the company. Wow. This year, it's like, we're here. We have multiple systems. And we're still making TV shows, we're still making stand-up specials, still doing podcasts, still making books, all that stuff. But look at that shelf. There's like 5 shelves of toys. It's crazy. And like, this is the last thing I'll say. I know I'm rambling, sorry. But like, I'm involved with all this. Like, I see, you know, this come into my laptop, I give notes, you know, this is off, that's off. I'm very involved with all of this. It wasn't until I got here yesterday and I came walking here, I was going to see Brian, him over there, I'm not talking about myself in third person. So I'm literally coming this way and I see all this and I'm like, holy shit, this looks real. Right. Like, I still feel like kind of like, it's not like I have imposter syndrome, but it's close to that. Right. Like, where I'm like, are we really doing this? Like, yeah, I texted a picture of the toy shelves to my wife, and I'm like, apparently we're toy makers. yeah. Like, it's just weird. Yeah. Very surreal.
It's interesting. You know, I'm sure, like, sitting in your offices, you know, you see some stuff online, but it's not until you get to a show like this, and like your panel is this evening, like you really truly get to see fan reaction firsthand on a larger level than just, you know, an occasional response on a Instagram post or something.
Yeah. So exactly. It's wild. It's pretty much my favorite convention of the year. I don't know why it wouldn't be or couldn't be, but yeah, I mean, it's who wouldn't love this? And I don't know about you. This is really starting to feel like 2019 again.
Agreed.
Like, last year was a little wonky. The year before was depressing. This feels like 2019. Like, you could film here for 2019.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, you know, just thinking a little bit about, you know, some of the videos you've posted, the evolution of the company. Like, I know you're doing a second run of the first 2 Robo Force, but you're doing a different package and stuff like that. So can you talk a little bit about, just as this universe gets bigger, sort of the learnings that you are finding?
So it's interesting, Robo Force actually is on its 4th run, and that's because we did this deal with Walmart, which I still, again, like, I'm telling you.
We got to talk about that. That's huge.
It's funny, I'm looking you in the eye and I'm telling you the truth. I feel like I'm lying. Like, what toy company that's only been doing it for 3 years And technically, I would argue 2 years, because it took a year. You know, we had to find Robo Force, we had to find biker, like, so then we had to find a designer, then we had to find a factory. So I would argue we've only been making toys for 2 years, but technically 3. And we're in business with Walmart, and it's like, it's a lot of business. I mean, all through between now and at the very least, March of next year, we're going to be having what they call features everywhere.
That's great.
So for the Walmart deal, we had to do our 3rd and 4th run of Robo Force, our 2nd run, all good, our 2nd run of our 3rd run of Sectars, 8th run of Biker Mice.
Wow.
I mean, we were sold out of Biker Mice. And going back to your question, what's changed?
Yeah.
Here's a great example.
Okay.
Last year, we would be selling, and then it would be like, oh, it's going down. Okay, pull out the calculator, takes them 6 weeks to make them, about 6 weeks to get here. All right, we should order more when we're, getting close to the point where we should order more.
Yeah.
Biker Mice, we thought we had a year's supply. Maybe 18 months, if I'm being honest. Literally over 3 months. Normally it goes fast, then it slows, and then, it becomes consistent.
Yeah.
This was fast, became consistent, and then dropped through, fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So we had like 3 months of no Biker Mice. We had no throttle for 3 months, and then we were out in Moto for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And then we got the Walmart deal done, and now we're making more for the Walmart deal than the company had made in total combined times at least 2 prior.
And not to be too insider baseball, but for people, you can't just pick up the phone and call the factory and say, turn the machines back on, because while they're not making toys, they're making baby bottles and Stanley Cups
for
other people.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's not just a matter of fire it up and send me some more either.
Exactly. And the thing, again, I loved your question, what's different now? Last year and going back a year, we could kind of behave in, for lack of a better expression, like a mom and pop kind of like finger painting way. Now we need precision. Like the Walmart trucks, we didn't know they couldn't work with our loading dock. So we had to figure out a solution. How do we get a loading dock? How do we get Walmart trucks to sync up with a loading dock that was never in a billion years expecting a Walmart truck? The building's probably 50 years old. There was never, no one in a million years, us before us.
Right.
So it's stuff like that. And to your point, like, you have to get these slots at the factory.
Yeah.
Walmart, I've never worked with a better company, but they don't mess around. Like if you tell them you can do something, you got to do it.
That's absolutely
And if you don't, that's a great way to no longer work with Walmart. So when we say to them, it'll be here on this day, it has got to be there on that day or earlier. And by the way, not too much earlier. They don't like that either.
Right.
But like that is new to us. Having to, and we're learning. I have never learned so much so quickly in my life as I have over the last probably 9 to 10 months.
And you've made some trips to Bentonville.
I've been there 6 times in 5 quarters.
That's incredible.
Yeah, wonderful place. Wonderful. I tell everybody, go to Bentonville. Go to Bentonville. I would move there if my wife would allow me. Oh my God, it's heaven.
And you found some other great vintage shops and things, some antique stores and things.
That video.
I did.
Yeah. It's worth the trip. It's worth the trip, man. That place, I was there for an hour. I probably could have been there for 4 hours. Yeah, I barely scratched. I go every time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. And you sort of talk about, the toy making aspect of it, but in addition to all that you listed, you're also writing new lore for these. Yeah. You're working on these series. You're making it a connected universe. Yeah. Like that's also something.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, Robo Force is almost done. I've been promised it'll be done before September. They've been saying that for a while, but part of it is my fault because I keep seeing things. It's a really weird process making animation. Like for example, like I just got a cut of the 6th episode, second cut.
Okay.
The robots are still like shooting at each other, getting hit, and all this, ducking blasts. None of the lasers are in. So you're literally watching they look like they're practically like breakdancing. Like, and you have to use your mind to almost like CGI in the special effects so you understand what the hell you're looking at. So a lot of the overages are my fault because I didn't see things because I'm new to the process that once we added was great, but it added time and budget, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robo Force, like I said, should be done by before September and should be coming out in Q1 of next year. That's the one we're doing with The Rock. Biker Mice, the scripts are being written now. So God willing, we start production late Q4. And that should be out either late 25, because hopefully we can go faster now that we have RoboForce under our belts, or early 26.
Okay. And
all of these things support one another. So like, for example, you know, one of the Walmart exclusives is Max 89, and he's in his fireproof armor.
Yeah.
That's taken from a scene in the comic book that we put out with Oni. So you know, one of the cool things about my career is by the nature of the documentaries I make, it's like going to fucking like grad school. So like Toys That Made Us taught me a lot about making toys. Behind the Attraction taught me a lot about Disney, Walt and Roy. So like I learned from Behind the Attraction, and it's sad I needed to learn this, but I did. Story is everything.
Yeah.
So like I didn't want to just put out like a repaint of Max. I wanted there to be story. So luckily we were in production on the comic books and we literally added a scene as a part of a scene that was already there, but we created a reason why he needs to be fireproof.
Okay.
So we're really trying to make sure all of the things we're doing are in sync. And it literally is becoming a full-time job for somebody, keeping track of everything.
I'm sure there'll be more announcements tonight in your panel and that sort of thing, so other things we can talk about later. But one of the announcements that did come out during the course of the con is 2 more seasons of the Toys That Made Us. Can you kind of talk about where you are in the process for those guys?
So we self-finance pretty much all of our production now. So the show is officially greenlit and the research has begun. We typically do 3 to 5 months worth of research. For this show, it'll probably be 5 months, or closer to 5 months. And then we go make it, man. Our casting department starts calling the people. As you know, we know most of them now in the toy world. And then we just go shoot and we edit, and when it's ready, we take it out.
Are there any hints about what lines you're covering yet?
When is this going to air?
You tell me, whenever you want it to.
Well, we're announcing tonight, or no, tomorrow morning, all the brands.
Oh, okay.
So if this is after tomorrow morning,
I will make it after tomorrow.
So, and I'm terrible with lists, but it's what you would think. It's Hot Wheels, it's Ghostbusters, it's Nerf, it's fast food toys, an episode I've wanted to do since season 1. It's who you would expect.
Okay, that's great. Looking forward to that. Is there any other hints about your panel tonight that you can give us?
We're showing the first new Biker Mice footage in 17 years. Okay. So that's I don't know if that's announced or not. I'm not. Again, going back to your question, what's different between today and a year ago today? A year ago today, I knew everything. Like now, I probably know 40%. So of what's going on at Nacelle. Yeah. So, but yeah. So first new footage in 17 years for Biker Mice, and yeah, we got a couple other little surprises.
I will be there. That's this evening. So just on a personal level, we always talk about collectibles and things we love. Do you have any new grails that you have acquired or put on your list?
Well, I definitely have a new. I know it's a grail because I had the same thing as my number one thing for like 10 years or more, and last year I got a new one. I got the Enterprise C nacelles. From yesterday's Enterprise. Basically my favorite Star Trek episode. And as you know, my company is named Nacelle. Right. So it's kind of like a twofer. So yeah, I have both Enterprise C nacelles. The only 2 that were ever made for that ship. There was only one model of the C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything new on your list, though, that you're...
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
All
I'm
good.
so sorry.
No worries. No
I
worries.
didn't know you were... I'm sorry.
No worries. Absolutely no worries.
A special guest appearance.
Wait, what am I looking for?
Yeah, just anything new on the list that you're on the prowl
new.
for.
The only thing I still don't have that I want is Vlix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve's still on the list.
Still, I think between the day we met and today, I got everything but Vlix.
Wow.
Yeah, I got the motion picture set that Mego made. I know that used to be on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just Vlix.
Okay.
Yeah, well now it's the Cobra Rattler, the classic.
Right, yeah, sure.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. By the way, yesterday was so crazy. I mean, I wouldn't blame you for not believing what I'm about to say. You know how I found out about it?
How's that?
When I saw it today.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
I was up till 1 in the morning after like 1:30, returning emails, looking comments and all DMs, whatever. And I went to bed. I was exhausted. And then today I'm walking around and it literally was just there. And I'm like, oh my God. And again, I wouldn't blame you for not believing this. Less than 30 seconds after I saw it, this woman behind me goes, "We're funded."
Yeah.
So I was there for that. That's how I found out. Yeah. And then I bought one.
All right. Very nice. Well, I'm very much looking forward to the panel tonight. As always, we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
We love watching the evolution of the company and the stories, and just we love all sorts of retro properties. So seeing what you do is very, very exciting, and just backstory to me is always important, and just it's so fascinating for me to see how you took your love of toys and have turned it into this universe.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I say this to you. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be modest. I'm going to say something to you. It's as though I'm telling you the sky is blue. I'm as surprised as you are. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm literally not kidding. Like, I don't know if my brain is just weird, but like, it just, none of this seems real until it's real. It's like really odd.
Yeah.
And we have an announcement, not to be a jerk, but we have an announcement coming in September.
Okay.
I mean, I said to you before, I feel like I'm lying. That, it doesn't even make sense. Like, doesn't make sense. But it's happening.
All right. Well, that is something we can look forward to in September. We'll be sure to report on that. But as always, Brian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your show. Have a great panel tonight. We'll be there watching and seeing everything. And always, thanks for your time.
Thank you for yours, man. You've always been great to us. Really appreciate it.
Have a great show.
Thank you.